think what she said is, I wonder if Mr. Scrappity's patching worked. I don't know. We'll go out there here a bit and find out. What's happening here? Let's see. Holy shit. I think we might have got it. Oh, no, leaky, leaky. Oh. 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 And the thunder roll. Anyway, some lightning and some thunder. So I figured we might come out here and get us a good look at it. It's still a bit tacky. So I'm gonna say it didn't fully set, but I don't know. We got something up there, and I got no water in the bucket. I did flexi seals, I did liquid nails, and I did some DAP tub and tile. I just caked it on there. It's like I was whipping up a batch of biscuits or something. But anyway, man, I was glad. Because I got a lot of my clothes and stuff stored up here, man. See, I got like bins of clothes and stuff stored up here, man. But anyway, yeah, right on. There's where I had to run a line of that silicone stuff up through that one because I did not overlap these panels far enough, and we had a little bit of buildup that was causing the water to flow over and over and over, and it finally found that gap. But so if you're gonna use these clear panels, I don't mind them. I like them, actually. I would definitely double them up, and I would make sure you're overlapped at least four camel humps or whatever you call them. I don't know, ridges. But other than that, the place is doing all right, man. Oddly enough, because I'm not like a construction guy or anything, so yeah. Anyway, a little wet out here this morning. Ooh, did you see that lightning? Happy New Year's, everybody. Enjoy your evening. Make it a safe one. The mud documentary continues. Johnny comes his head down. Johnny wants to be seeing cars. Do you often feel like maybe you've woke up on the wrong side of the bed? Things just aren't going your way. You thought you had more gas in the tank than you actually do. Well, let Mr. Scrappity ask you a question. Have you been hexed lately? Perhaps this might be your problem. And if so, have I got the book for you? And if that's the case, well, maybe you'd like to learn to ride a silver broomstick and just totally turn your life around. Turn it upside down. Do it in circles. On a broomstick. And if all that just leaves you hungry for more, well, here's a nice little read. It's a short one. How many chapters? 1 chapter, 2 chapter. Anyway, the count. So, okay. Anyway, art piece over. scrapping on New Year's Eve. I mean, look, there's stuff out. We'll document it, you know, just so it's known, so it's documented, so it's documented that it was out on New Year's Eve. There was trash. Look at that rig, man. That's a hell of a setup. That's one of them landscape buggy attachments, whatever. Look, there's a can there. It's been blowed over by the wind, but we got cans out. Anyway, let's see if we can find one with something in it. What do you say? I'm getting tired of holding this chest mount up in the air. Hey, we might need both of those or something. Anyway, I thought I brought both gloves with me. We probably could have done this job without gloves, but... It's got an iron base instead of the concrete stuff. Usually if you do that with those kind, it just busts all over the back of your wagon, and then you lose 3/4 of the weight to the article. Anyway, let's go see if we can find something else. Hopefully that's not all we find. It's been the running gimmick here lately. Steering wheel. You know what steams my clams? Well, not really. I mean, I couldn't care less, but it's you know what's funny to me? Or I guess it's not really funny. I don't know. I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I thought about earlier? It's like you get like what is it you're trying to say, Mr. Scrappity? I don't know. I'll spit it out here eventually. I ixnay the scraps as soon as I pixay the scraps or something, you know, like as quick as I try to have a fast turnaround with them. For starters, I've never really wanted to be buried in like junk, you know. You're not a hoarder. I know, I try not to be. I mean, to an extent, everybody collects something, you know, but whether it be like empty grocery bags in that one drawer, or you know, I don't know, empty tidy cat buckets. I don't know. I seen a stop one day where somebody had like 900 of them things set out to the curb. It's like, in order to gather that many, you had to have hoarded them, right? So anyway, the point is, did you hear that wiper? It's raining again. That kind of steams my clams too, but it's like I was saying, you know, I try to, that's what keeps me going, you know. That's the fuel to the fire that we keep lit every day. We gotta keep it stoked. Yo. Anyway, you know, that's the stoke, you know. So like, as quick as we can get them and process them and get them shipped off, because like they're not worth much when they're just laying in the yard. But that's where it gets me to where I'm saying here, like when you got fellers that are like, oh, I'm constantly broke, I'm so broke, and I'm broke in poverty because I'm broke, and I'm broke because I'm in poverty, and like all the meanwhile, if you would just bend and stoop, you know, like those guys that work for United Fruit, anyway, and pick up the 700 pounds of cords and shit you got laying around, you'd probably have a pretty good paycheck. Now, I know it's just one paycheck, and you take it in and you pay the bills, and then the next month the bills are back again. I mean, that's kind of that's the circle of life. But anyway, I mean, you're not necessarily ever broke when you're sitting on a hoard. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't have 14 cars in the backyard, or I don't have 700 pounds of wire that I haven't bothered to pick up off the ground yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have 4 warehouses full of merchandise waiting to go to the flea market or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a schnackle. Speaking of, we seem to have fixed the hole in that one, but I noticed on the little shit shed, it's leaking. And honestly, like, I don't know what to do with that one, because it's got a tin roof on it. So that, I mean, if it's done, right? It's got a tin roof, and then underneath that is a big doubled up tarp that I bought, and then underneath that are some tarps that I found, and then underneath that are some plywoods, and it's moisture has been detected on the underneath side of the plywood inside. So I mean, it's made its way all the way through, something like that. So I don't know. What I was thinking is maybe this spring, summer, some point eventually here, I'm gonna knock that little one down, and the little lean-to guy there, and maybe try to redo that one in a manner that's not leaking. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. 145 miles to E. We didn't put no gas in here today. Well, I think I put a little bit yesterday, but it wasn't. We're not. We usually got a little bit more than that at this point. That's what I'm getting at here, and that kind of sucks because there's nothing out here. And I kind of knew there wouldn't be, albeit a different holiday than Christmas, so there's probably not as many people out of town right now as there was last week or whenever. But I know for a fact Ray and Ralph, neither of them, Ralph nor Ray, neither of them, they don't work tomorrow on New Year's Day, so that means a lot of people ain't gonna put their stuff out today. That means you got to look at this steering wheel while I just ramble on for a minute here. Anyway, do you guys like those videos where they're completely in the dark? I'm not super fond of that myself because I never know what the person on the other end of the camera is doing, you know? I mean, I know some people like making YouTube videos a whole lot more than others, so it's like, what are we doing in the dark, man? Turn the lights on. I don't like sitting in the dark. Are you guys afraid of the dark? I'm afraid of horses myself. Well, not necessarily afraid of them, although I've never been alone with one, so, I mean, I might be afraid of. I don't like them. I have a slight disdain for the equine and the equine community itself. I mean, I don't know. Let me shove a big metal bar in your mouth and jump on your back. I don't weigh that much. You're not going to notice. I promise. They're horses, Mr. Scrappity. I know. But I mean, they're quite majestic, are they not? The point is, I have no idea. And it's New Year's Eve. Yay. I can't wait to get through with the holidays. Although, if you think about it in the bigger picture, I mean, we're getting done with this whole wintertime thing, you know? It's January, man. Well, I mean, soon to be. Tomorrow. Yeah, not too much longer, and it'll be March. And then things will be turning the big corner. Like us, look, we're turning the big corner here. Yeah, so... But I figured I'd get out here and ride around anyway because you got people that set stuff out because it's Tuesday and it's always going to be Tuesday and it's just muscle memory because trash goes out on Tuesday, so, you know. And then you'll have those people that know Ralph's not going to be, you know, picking up in the morning and that they'll have a chance to put it out tomorrow as well, and that's most likely what they'll do, so. And I also, when we first started here up in the other section there where the lower level, the single story ranch type dwellings were, there's a little, used to be a public school, but it's turned to a private school now. They must have sold off the building. Anyway, as we were passing through the neighborhood there, I spotted a dumpster out the corner of my eye in their parking lot. It's up against the building and it has caution tape around it. But anyway, I did the neighborhood and I was like, man, you know what? Dumpsters, that could be a thing, you know, in our repertoire. And so I circled back around there. As I passed the first time, I noticed one car in the lot. And it was parked awful close to the dumpster. That's why I noticed it. But it's New Year's Eve, and there's no school. Like, surely there's nobody there, right? Just somebody left their car there. Anyway, circled all the way back. Right as we're coming around the corner there, the big corner, some gentleman comes walking out to that car, and I'm all just like, so I didn't even make the turn. I just kept going, so... needless to say, I circled around through the neighborhood and around the block for like absolutely nothing just because of my my inabilities as a human to humanize with other humans or something like that, you know. So that's why I tend to not do the dumpsters. I have in the past. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like doing it, but I don't like doing it because of the angst and the anxiety and such that envelops me. Like, just completely enveloped. So it's like, although there is that, like, what's in the box? What's in the bag? What's in that door? You know? I don't know. But then, like, I don't have that extra feeling of whatever when we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might occasionally pass up a stop because somebody's got their garage door open and they're out in the driveway, but I mean, for the most part, I don't mind running into, Sam Q Public or whatever in the driveway type action, but behind the big box store or next to the building that's under construction, like it. If you recall, the one time we was at the church construction building lot sort of a thing, and some dude come out and I was all like, gonna be an issue here? Like, I kind of got defensive, and it's like, he should be the one being defensive, but I'm a flip-flopper, so I flip-flopped it on him, and I'm all like, yeah, you're gonna have a problem here, are we? And he's all like, no problem. No issues at all. Just be careful. Practice safety consciousness or some weird thing. And I was all like, yippee-yo. Anyway, so is this thing recording? It is. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Anyway, we just want to see out the window, Mr. Scrappity. I know, but I don't have a window mount. It got broken, and I still haven't got a new one. So, I bought a welder, and I ain't got no mask to weld with. I mean, it came with a joke. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff I ain't got. I ain't got a driveway. I mean, I got one, but I'm making my own gravel driveway. Slowly turning my blacktop and what's left of the concrete into gravel. But the point is, I don't know. You guys having fun yet? Saddest part is, we're going to be right back here tomorrow. And, that sucks. But it doesn't. But it does, So, I don't know. 46 degrees on the wagonometer here. And, yeah. So, it's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, and then a little bit cooler, and a little bit cooler, and then a little bit cooler. And it'll be March. We already had this discussion. Anyway, we're doing the thing. The thing just ain't here to be done. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I don't necessarily dive out of, my realm. And also, when you speak of a repertoire, to me that entails something of a pattern, of a routine, of an MO, So my MO is to put at most $20 in the gas tank, do our run, and hope that we've made more than that back, So when you start talking about going to different places and different cities and different neighborhoods and different complexes and subdivisions and stuff, well then that requires more of an investment. So you have to have that investment to start with in order to see any type of payoff from that. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of different reasons why I don't, do different things. Another of which is, like I said, I obviously have issues, and I do what I do, and I think I do it semi-well at times, and that's just kind of what I do, and I try to just maybe do a little better at that one thing, try to make the most of that one thing that we do decent at times or whatever. I don't know. Anyway. Squonk. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, this blows. And another thing, after doing the storage unit thing and seeing like the mess that's left, it's like, what are you gonna do when you become a hoarder and you've got 17 cars with no titles and a pop-up camper that don't pop up and I mean, what are you gonna do with that when you're gone? Well, I mean, for starters, you ain't gonna do shit with it when you're gone, because you're gone. But what are you leaving for those that you cared for? It's like the store, like I said, like the locker thing. Like, you find all this stuff, like this giant collection of bells. It's like, yeah, so you spent your whole life collecting bells. That's what made you happy, was your giant bell collection. But then, what are they worth? $20 to the highest bidder, so they can take them home and let them collect dust. Like, I mean, I think that's why the biggest majority of that stuff gets left behind like that. It's just because it's a hassle. It's clutter. It's garbage. A lot of it. So when you see a lot of stuff sitting out in my backyard and you say, well, it's going to rain again because Mr. Scrappity got a locker, it's like, I mean, on the rare occasion I've slipped up and left something, valuable out or something like that. But for the most part, if it's sitting outside, it's because it's sitting outside, Nobody cares. And like, I'm not going to start now. So, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so. And also, I think that's one reason why I've always, like Miss Amy's pretty good about, like, well, if I find a brand new wheelbarrow per se. My name's Per se. Anyway, and practically new, technically new, and it's worth, easily you could post it for $75, but I throw it on and I take the first $40 that comes at me. Well, it's because it was something I didn't have 10 minutes before I found it, something I ain't gonna have 10 minutes after I move it down the street. And you can't trade a wheelbarrow for a cheeseburger, despite what people tell you about, like, liquidity, as in the worthless and devaluing itself daily type dollar form, and then tangible assets that you can actually touch and feel and rub on your bum and stuff like that. I mean, even if you have stacked silver coins, I mean, when the time comes, like, you got to trade that silver in for money, right? Like, nobody's trading your silver for services. And if you do find that, it's a far reach, to find, okay, so I've got all this silver stacked up, and now I've got this plumbing problem, and I have to have a dishwasher installed, and it costs $400 to have one installed. And you tell the guys, well, I'll give you, all these silver coins, like some Captain Hook sort of dude. And they're all like, but we want money, I mean, you might find a guy that's all like, okay, hey, what, yeah, this is worth what? Yeah, I mean, but I mean, what is this? I mean, it's money's what makes the world go round, so. And a lot of times it's the dollar bill that does it. So, yeah, I've always just been one to, like, I don't want junk, I don't want stuff, I just need more money to do the things that need to be done, Squonk, 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 let's turn them things down. It's like one street, it's sprinkling a little harder than the other, and then next time you turn that big corner, it stopped raining again, Anyway, I don't know, so. Now, that's not saying that I wouldn't mind having some stuff. Like, I got my little cabinet of curiosities. Well, I actually got rid of the cabinet. I put all the stuff in bins and stored it in my schnackle, because I'm a hoarder. Well, it's stuff like, I got some of those wooden puppets. Those, what do you call a puppet? It's like a real puppet. I guess you call it a puppet, don't you? I don't know. Anyway, I got, and some of that Fenton, And I got some of that, like them glass pieces and that porcelain stuff and some bric-a-brac and knick-a-knack and all that. Like, I kept a few things, but it's kind of more like just having a little piggy bank. Like, I don't know. So, but yeah, whatever. Like, I get it to an extent, but I don't know. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Rant over. What is that? That's a realty sign. Square and white kind of caught my eye. Like, is it a dishwasher? No. That's a Coltwell Banker sign, Mr. Scrappity. I know there's nothing out here, man. We really just wasted some gas today. But I hope we got to spend a little time together, and I kind of hope you didn't fast forward right to the end, you know? I mean, if you do, you do. I'm not going to hold it against you. Ladies, but, you know, it'd be a lot cooler if you didn't, I guess. Anyway, so, right on. I don't know. Ooh, what's that? Is that a thing? We found some scrap metal, gang. Woohoo! I knew we could do it. I knew we could. Did you know we could too? Were you cheering for me? Like, come on, Mr. Scrappity, we believe in you. Just turn that next big corner. I mean, we're not going to get rich here, but what is this? Some sort of princess bed? Them's my new side rails. That'd be so pretty. You know what the old saying is. At least we're not going home empty. Am I right? Come on, dickweed. What are you doing? Just fucking holding up and shit. Get the fuck out the way, boy. Looking for them scoops. Them skeeps. Nah. This motherfucker's still recording. Anyway. You shoes, you lose. I don't know, man. I went ahead and I was just going to call it. But I'm figuring as we was coming back, the people that had that stuff out, the shoe house, it wasn't their night for pickup. And I was like, man, we'll pass back through that way and maybe check some more of them bags. But somebody else didn't check them bags for us, man. They gone. Somebody took every bag that was sitting there, so I don't know. I don't know. You know. I don't know. Anyway, they gone. Well, I hope you had fun, because we didn't find nothing. Nah. I don't know. We'd be lucky to get $6 for that. I didn't even put it in the yard. I got a lamp and a bed. Larry? Who's this Larry guy? Ow! I'm stuck. Ha! The most impenetrable gate in the world. Anyway, not really. Hey, Ralph came. I already filled the cans back up. Whee! Anyway. Watch it come, watch it go. Sometimes it goes a little bit slower because I ain't got that many cans, man. Anyway, let's go check on my leak. Ladies. I think we've done a decent enough job for now that it will suffice until it doesn't, and then we'll have to do something else with it. The bucket appears to be dry. That's all splitter splatter from our fix. Anyway, okay, it works for me. Ow! Shit! That was my head. Mind your mullet. I was not at the time. Anyway. Yeah, see, I mean, I guess I'm kind of a hoarder, you know? But, like, I don't know. I think at the moment, like, some of this stuff is listed online. And eventually, if it doesn't go anywhere, it'll go somewhere. I'm not a hoarder of little homemade greenhouses, that's for sure. Although I do got a pile of debris I gotta get rid of. Oh, look. There we go. Yeah, we got a leak. So, I had a leak down there at one point in time. Looks like it might have returned. So that all said, I'd like to knock this thing down and redo it. But anyway, that's a project for another day. I think that's what they say. I don't know. Hey, there's that little table. We dragged it home. We picked it up in the trash one night and we dragged it home. And then I noticed, see where it's been broken and glued. So if you're wondering, oh, look. See, I can't sell that to somebody. So if you're wondering, like, why I just left that sitting out in the rain, there was a reason.
Run me down to the store. A little slow tonight, isn't it?